Come on. Okay, anyway, whatever. Go live, buddy. What? This might be an issue. Click here. Oh man, remove. Satan, you are defeated. You can't come tonight there. Are you kidding? Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. And welcome to our virtual community dialogue with seasfall influences. And I want to say to you that we have a very productive evening for you tonight, a night full of good information and, of course, tips that you can most likely apply in your life. I'm sure we'll have some very practical things to share with you tonight. My name is Cesarina Paul. I'm sure you know by now. And if it's your first time joining us on our virtual community dialogue, I say to you a special welcome. And this is, I don't know what edition of this program, because the truth is I've not been keeping account. I can go back and count, but I have not been keeping account. But I can assure you it's more than roughly 2 months that we've been doing this, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that God has granted me for me to be able to promote if you wish, for want of a better term, our people. Okay, so welcome. Hi, Jacqueline Edwards over there in Canada. I see you. Welcome, Jackie. Hi to you. Hi, Safari Apartments. Hello, my people. Good night. Yes, Mrs. Anne Mary, and Mr. Mary and your family. Good evening to you. Edwina London out there in Houston in the US. Welcome as well. So far, it's good to have all three of you, and I'm hoping there are lots of other people whom I'm not yet seeing, who are on board with us tonight. So good evening to all of you and welcome. I believe in all things it is important to give thanks. So wherever you are, just bow your head with me and let us give thanks to the Lord. Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for talent, skills. We thank you for the internet. We thank you, Lord God, for all the people who offer themselves to share their stories and their life with us, so that we can be inspired, but not just inspired, but that we can actually make a difference in the lives of others. I give you all the glory, Lord, for the gift of life. I give you all the glory, Lord, for all your blessings, your tremendous grace sees upon us. We're not worthy of them, oh Lord, but you pour them upon us, so we thank you. We pray, oh Lord, that you may bless tonight's program and help it to be productive. And thank you for our guests tonight who have agreed to be with us and who will be sharing with us. So we ask you to bless their minds and bless their spirits, that they too and what they share, Lord, will be life-giving to others. We give you all the glory and all the honor in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. Bless the Lord. I'm Catholic, so I seal myself in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. That's fine if you don't. I respect you for that, but you know how it goes. All right. So hi, Marvelyn, Brady, I see you. I see you, Rose. I call her Rosie's, but you have a different name tonight, Rosiera. Mommy Prince, yes, Rosie, I see you. You're locked in. Great stuff. All right. I've had a very productive week, I must say. I thank God for it. Some challenging moments, but indeed I am grateful that the Lord has been good to us and he has spared our lives to be able to see a Friday evening. My first guest is already waiting. You have seen her before, but we had some technical difficulties over time, and we had quite a few breaks in between when we were trying to bring her on. But we try to give you a lot of information about her. Tonight she is there, and she's going to not just tell us, anything that she told us before, but very importantly, new developments that has happened in her life. So Paula Azil, I see you. Welcome, sis. Welcome over there in St. Martin. We're happy to have you. All right, we're happy to have you come joining us tonight. So as I was saying, our first guest tonight, we have two guests tonight, okay? Two guests. One is Heather Vidal. You've seen her before, but she's going to share with us some new developments that you need to know. Hi, Nanan, that you need to know that has gone down in her life thus far. And we're very thankful and very grateful that she has that opportunity to grow. Yes, I think we're all about growth here. All right, so I don't want to waste any time. I want to bring her in. She probably had a long day at work. Not probably, I know she did. She's a hard worker and probably still in her place just to accommodate us tonight. So that's great. All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring on my guest, my first guest, and then we have a second guest for you, Dr. Tryphenia Margaret Wallace, who is going to speak about something completely different but very, very important. And if you know anybody who is struggling tonight, maybe they have a traumatic situation that they're dealing with, maybe they're suffering from, they're always thinking, or they're suicidal. Yeah, probably they have given you a hint that they are. Probably it's an opportunity for them to tune in and listen, or probably somebody who is going through a depression. This is an opportunity for them to get some good information and to know that there is help out there for them. So you might want to share the live, tag them, call them, send them a little WhatsApp, tell them tune into Influences Tonight live here on Facebook or on my YouTube channel to see if they can grasp some information. All right, with no further ado, here I go. Somebody already say good evening to my guest even before she comes on. Hi, Heads. Good evening. How are you?
Hi, good evening. I'm not too bad. A little tired, but okay.
I know. I'm sure you are tired.
Yep.
Thankfully, that I'm thankful that you're not too tired. I know we like to say we're not too bad. I like to say that we're not bad. So,
As usual.
what if we say we're not too bad? It's like we're saying we bad a little, but not too much. I don't know. All right. So, Heads.
Yes,
I call it
yes, yes.
everybody. This is Heather Vidal right there. Heather is from Portsmouth, and she's a young entrepreneur. And yes, Heads, can you tell the folks again, for those who do not know, the name of your business, and also how long you've been existing as a business?
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Vidal, and the name of my business is Events and Decor. I have been operational from since 2016, but I went into it full-time job from 2018 till right now.
And
Thank
why
for
20?
that.
Why did you go full time into your business? What made you go full time into your business?
I did not really have the loss of my job after Hurricane Maria. I lost my job. I want to continue working, and I think I want to focus on myself, concentrate on myself, and it was something that I've been planning doing on the side for a little while. So I decided to give it my full attention, and I decided I'm going into it 100%.
All right. So as folks, as you've heard, and a lot of you would have known by now that Ross University was where Heather worked before, and we know what happened with Ross University, and she was one of the one of the many people who lost their jobs there, and being the resilient person that she is, she took on the bold step to go entirely into her business. Can you tell us the first part when you entered your business? What was the first things you started doing, or what were the first services that you were offering to the folks?
When I started off offering event services such as event management, event coordination, sole focus when I started off, but I eventually diverted and I have other things to complement what I am doing right now.
All right. Before we go into the other things, can you tell us a little bit about the event? What are some of the events that you have done before? Not necessarily specifying them, but in broad categories. And also, what are some of the events people can hire you for? Hire your services for?
Okay, so I've had the opportunity to do weddings, funerals, um, meetings, board meetings. I've also had the opportunity to do to do different parties and dinners and anniversary dinners, birthday parties, all different milestone events and celebratory events, practically.
Yes, and I know for a fact that I've witnessed some of the work that you've done. You've done big birthday parties for people getting 70 years, even including that of my mother, I must say. And personally,
Oh,
I can
yes.
testify that we were very satisfied
Yes.
with your service. My best friend's aunt birthday was just recently, a few months ago, when she turned 70, and you were hired as well to host that party, or
Yes.
to actually cater for that, you plan that event rather, and to see it through. And you did a fabulous job, I must say, and they were very pleased with your work. So I want to throw that out there because I want people to understand that sometimes we think we know how to plan an event, but we actually need the service like what Heather is offering. Yeah. Luke Jones said you did a wedding.
Thank you.
Haha. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Indeed. Oh, yes. And it was fantastic, fabulous, well executed, no glitches. She was so worried. And then when she arrived, she just had to sit back and said, okay, you know what? I need to sit back because you handled everything.
That's right. And that is how I've seen you done events. Okay, so over the first few years you have done that, I've seen you host weddings for foreigners, people who came in Ireland and they didn't know where to turn, and you turned them to the right directions and ensure that they had a fabulous ceremony as well. But that having done that, you have recently added a new element to your business. Would you like to
Mhm.
share with everybody a little bit more about what it is that you have begun doing to extend your business lately?
Oh, yes.
We have a little lag, and we're not hearing your voice as yet. I'm not sure why. Check your mic. Well, it shows that your mic is not muted, so I'm not
All
sure why.
right. Sure. Well, it's something that I wanted to do a long time now. But even with the presence of COVID right now,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I think her internet has a little bit of lag, folks. So let's bear with her. Let's hope that she can actually get it together. Yeah. Go ahead, Ed. Wow, boy. I don't know. It's like a bad luck we have with every time we interview here. We have some challenges, man.
um, yeah, there's a lag. There's a lag. There's a lag. Yeah. So with the onset of COVID, there's not the events that's happening right now. They're not as huge.
Okay, someone said the internet in Picard is going on and off or up and down, I suppose. Yeah, so that's a bit of a challenge there. I think they did something about internet in that area. Although I think she's in Portsmouth right now in a business place, you know. So I think Heather was talking about the fact that some of the events, because of COVID, some of the events have been slow in coming in, folks. Not many people getting married around that time, not many parties because many of us have to physically distance ourselves from so many other events and people. So a lot of things went flat, even maybe some of the hotels that she would have been working with, because I know that she's had some gigs with the new hotel down in Tachi, which is Kempinski, and other such agencies and institutions and organizations. All right, so I know that she has had some gigs with them before, and because of COVID-19, she has had to lose some of that, quite a bit, as a matter of fact. And so I think she was saying that she saw the need to go into other things that would enhance her business and also keep her occupied. Yes, can you hear me now? And is it possible for you to try to give us some more information on what I just said? If you can. Any luck?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly, I can hear you
Okay, go
very
ahead.
well. It's just, I think you probably just need to, yeah, probably just let me go ahead and then I guess it will eventually come through. It's just taking
Okay,
some
good.
time. I don't know why. Yeah,
All
but
right.
I have had the opportunity to work with so many different places, and although yes, we have COVID, the weddings and so forth, some of the different places, things are still coming through. Kempinski is still having events, and I'm still there, doing my events and so forth with them. I recently had events with them. I also had events with Secret Base. So they're still coming. But I
Yeah.
decided to add some other elements with what I do right now. So I recently, as of the 3rd of September, which was last Thursday, I opened up this little store in Portsmouth. It's right by the market. You cannot miss it. So I go about and I sell stuff like stationery supplies and so for the kids, educational books, activity books, and these things, along with a small internet cafe, as well as we sell other event supplies and much needed items have, and other persons are looking for certain things that are a little different. And I must say that the response from the community, it is coming in very, very well.
Happy to hear.
I've also added is looking forward to. I mean, I've been doing a little marketing, I've been meeting persons, speaking with them, listening to them. They are really enthusiastic about the idea. So one of the things, what some of the services we're offering is that of birth certificate. Instead of having to go to Roseau and stand in the line, take a number and wait a long time, you can just come over to Heather's Events and Deco and we will assist you at a small fee, of course. We will apply for it for you and we will call you and let you know when it's ready. So all you need to know, go do is just to pick it up. But if we can get 5 persons a week, we ourselves can go pick it up for them and they can pick it up at our office. We do online visa application and visa appointments, passports applications, passports application, especially for those who they're not living in Dominica, they live abroad and they do not want to come home
Yeah.
to renew the visa. They can get in touch with Heather's Events and Decor. We have a Facebook page, and they can send us a message and we can start doing all the necessary work and the preparations. And once they send us the information, giving us the permission to go ahead and do the necessary legal process as to the particular type of license they need, we will go ahead and we will do all that for them. We provide hospitality training. As a matter of fact, I'm about to start teaching a we also provide protocol services and protocol training as well for persons who want it. There's so many services that we have going about right now. The small businesses, you may have a small business and you do not need a secretary. But from time to time, you will need some ways to organize your files. Put your books together. You might need to take some notes, some minutes. You can just call in, we come in, and we assist you with doing everything for you. That a secretary would do for you. We provide hospitality training. That a secretary would do for you probably twice a month, and we would bill you at the end of the month. And that's what we're trying to bring, the different type of services we are trying to create and try to make it very convenient for our people, as well as you want to travel, you can come to us, you can purchase your tickets, your ticket, and so from us with many other services. But let me give you a little time, so if you wish to, say something.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing that because we recognize the challenges of the internet. It is difficult to go back and forth. But great, you did so well right there, giving all this information. And that is what I really wanted the folks to hear. Some of the things that you are offering in Portsmouth that a lot of people would like to get that service and may not necessarily want to go to Rosa to get it done. And or they need to get their passport renewed, as you said, and they don't know where to start. I know you can walk them through every detail. And one thing about Heather, folks, and one thing I know about you, Heather, is that you you pay attention to details. Details are your thing. So you do not let things slide. You try your best to ensure that you cover all bases. So, folks, if you want these services, I want you to know that you should go out and get them. So it's not just Heather planning a wedding, helping you with funerals or a birthday party or an anniversary or something. But there is more that you can now get from her. Yeah, you wanted to say something? Okay, I'm seeing your mouth moving, but we're not hearing you this time. Yeah, it's really challenging for some reason. Every time Heather comes on, we have a serious challenge,
Yes.
folks. I don't know what
Mhm.
But I wanted to also mention that I lost my train of thought there, but before these distractions of not hearing you, by the way. But yeah, I think I wanted to say that the matter of the birth certificate, especially, I know like we've been lamenting this situation for a long time. When I say we, I mean people in our
Mhm.
north, in the office of the island, the need for something like that in Portsmouth or within the vicinity where people may not necessarily have to go to Roseau to get it. So I think that
Right.
that's really, really.
Yes.
Oh, go
Also,
ahead.
Kate, um, reading a document, or even, I don't know what's up. Maybe there's a lag.
There's a grand lag. Guys, I'm trying my best here. In things like that, you don't need dead air, so I'm trying to fill it up as much as possible. But Heather, if you can hear me, you can go ahead. Okay, so earlier Heather mentioned about protocol training, and it's one of the areas that I think we do have some struggles with in planning events and hosting people. Sometimes
Yep.
you have a guest like the president of the Commonwealth of
Mhm.
Dominica, or you have the prime minister, or a pal rep, or somebody of high repute, or somebody of in some big office, so to speak. Um, Somebody in
Mhm.
authority in the nation, and you may not necessarily know what's the best sitting arrangement for them. Probably who should meet them at the door. Some of the basic things that we think, or people might take for granted. And Heather is saying to you that that's one of the things that she can she can offer. She can actually assist you in hosting people in that way,
Yeah.
and or she can actually prepare you and your staff for that event. So go ahead, Heather.
Yes, I can hear you. Um, yes. So we also assist persons to do professional resume, professional CVs. If you also want to do a professional letter, resignation letter, whatever type of letter.
Wow, this is tough. Anyway,
Mhm.
so heads again, we can't really hear you. We cannot really hear you right now. It's really rough, really, really rough. So what I'm going to do, we have to do this
Yep.
again. We have to get it right with you. I don't know how, but I'm hoping that people would have gotten. I see she's trying to sign into a different
Yep.
device. Should you try the other device? Let's go and fit it.
Can
All
you hear
right, let's get rid of that
Mm-hmm.
one. Let's
Can
go
you
see. You can hear me better now. We can actually see you better on this. But put off the other one though, please.
Okay. Hi. Can you
Yes,
all hear me?
much better. And we seeing you. We're seeing you better too. Yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Thank God.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so I was saying that, there are so many services that we offer. There are persons who's coming in to get married, and they will need what we call, the marriage license. And you don't need to wait until you get here for you to go ahead and get it. You can contact us and we can start doing all the necessary paperwork and so forth for you, because you have to be on island at a particular time. And when you get there, if you decide on coming last minute, we don't want you hustling. So you can just get in touch with us and we organize all that. And you do not necessarily have to be coming in, even right here on island. We have persons who might be doing their wedding out of the church. So you will need your marriage license. So we assist in all these areas, helping you to get all those things and helping you to be prepared. You know, we do so many things, but we've just taken it one day at a time. We do proofreading. You want to type a document, but you need somebody to go over it, ensure that it is well done. The spelling, the grammar, the correct words are used and so forth, so that you can sound from the time somebody look at your document, they tell yes, that's a smart document, well prepared and so forth. We can do all of that for you. So, you just need to come on down to Headers Events and Decor and just ask. We make it possible. We
That's it.
don't make cakes. We're not photographers. But you
Right.
can come to us and just tell us what you need and we're going to make it happen. You want a cake on Friday, you come and you say, hey, I need a cake on Friday. And you can come right back to Headers Events and Decor and pick up your cake.
Here
So
we
we're
go.
making it easy. We're trying to make, technically, let us do the hustle for you.
That's it. The middleman. So you're playing the
Yes,
role very much of the middleman and making
very
it
much
easier
so.
for the other person. Yeah.
Very much so.
So
And
so
in
in
so doing, we're also getting you the best. Don't think that we're going to give you
yeah.
mediocre. No, we're getting you the best.
All right. That sounded like an ad in my view. I really wanted that. All right. So
Yes,
Ed, I want to thank you for giving folks an update of what you've been doing. I'm very happy to know of your progress, to see it myself, to be part of the actual opening of your place. And
yes,
I'm very proud of you and the movements that you are making as a young
yes.
woman in the town. So you mention about the internet cafe?
I was about to say, and for the folks listening who have children, those who are teachers and you have children at your school, we also have an internet cafe. So you can come on down, we can serve 5 persons at a time. So you can come on down and you can just come to Heather's Events and Decor and we will work with you. So even with children, they have an assignment to do and they may have little challenges. Come down, even if you want to use the internet. Don't be shy, even if you don't have the knowledge. I have a staff with me as well as myself. We're going to sit, we're going to work with you, and we're going to help you. Because one of the things that I notice is that a lot of us are privileged. During the high peak of COVID in Dominica, a lot of children, they were doing online schooling. And one of the challenges that some of them had, yes, they had internet at home, but most of them have what we call a smartphone. They do
Yeah,
not have a computer. So navigating using the smartphone was a bit of a challenge for them, while some of them did not have any internet access as well. And that was when I realized, you know what? While we think it is very easy to access internet and those things, it's not. So I thought of these young persons and I said, you know what? I'm going to open up an internet cafe so they can come in and help themselves. We also do printing, photocopying, scanning, laminating. Just come on down. It's a one-stop shop.
that's right. All right, so I'm happy to hear. And as folks, as you can tell, I'm sure that most of you here did not know that Heather's events and decor, and that Heather is offering all of these services to us in the town. So go and find out for yourself. Ask a question if you didn't hear what you probably are interested in. Heather might be, and we'll be able to point you to where you can get that service if she can do it for you. But I can assure you that to a large extent, she will go to the other end to ensure that she provides the service that you're looking for. So please, want to encourage you guys to go out and support Heather's events and decor. Heads, any closing remarks from you going out?
I first of all, I really want to say thanks. Thanks to all those who have supported me, those who have been there for me, those who have rallied with me. There are some very special people. They're very dear to my heart because they're always there looking out one way or another. Sees, you have been a tremendous blessing. You have really been looking out. You've been like my eyes and ears, what you hear. We have
Thank
persons
you.
like Jude Azil and Candy and, so many
Joan,
of them. And
I see Joan there, Joan.
Joan, and there is Kathy,
Yeah,
and some of my neighbors. So many people keep pushing me. If you don't hear your name, don't worry because there's so many persons that have been after me, pushing me, supporting me, and
yeah,
I've been so thankful because sometimes I feel without these persons, maybe I would not have gotten that far. Because sometimes you feel like giving up, but then somebody come and they push you along. So that
yeah.
helps you. So I just really want to say thank you. And I would just like to encourage our people to come out and support what we have. We don't need to
That's
go
right.
strong to get certain things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even for events, sometimes we think we want to try it on our own, but even if it's a consultation, come in. We will help you because even if you decide to do it on your own, we'd also like to see you do something good. So even if
That's
it's
right.
just a consultation, $150 for consultation, you can come down and we do both business and event consultation.
Amen. Thank you so much, my friend. I wish you all the best. And as we
Yes,
said, we are very proud of you. A number of folks are telling you, well done. Some folks are saying they're very proud of you and what you are doing. So I think you have people out there who are supporting you. So I want to
yes.
say thanks for coming on again and for sharing with us. And go and beat the numbers.
Oh, yes. Good
All
night
right.
to my sister, my mom, my loving sister, my everything. I can just call and say, I need you to go to Walmart or to Target and get this for me. And she's on the
Yes,
ball. So thank you,
that's right.
Nalda. Thank you, mommy. I appreciate all of you and my son. Oh,
Where's
yes.
Jeremiah? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're trooper. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So
yes.
thanks, Ed. Have a blessed night, blessed
You're
weekend.
welcome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for this opportunity. And thanks to everybody.
no problem. All right. Bye bye. All right, folks. There you have it. You had Heather sharing with us live. Live, just telling us all the many things that she's offering. And as I said before, a number of you didn't even know that Heather offers all these things, all these services to the town and to anybody who come from anywhere. People overseas, as I said, I've saw her services before, and she has been very good in delivering. And so, if you know anybody who needs some kind of service, refer them to Heather. All right. So, thank you for that, Heads. And we want to just now, very soon, we're going to transition to the other part of our discussion. Very important. I invite you to share the live with more people because I think we have lots of space to take more people here. And there are lots of people, by the way, who will need to hear what's coming up and or who need some kind of encouragement. So please go ahead, share the live on Facebook, encourage them to go on YouTube if they don't have Facebook, on influences on my YouTube channel. They can actually follow the discussion there. As we already have Dr. Trifie in the room, she's waiting in the back studio, if I can call it that. Yes, in the green room, literally. Yes, and she's already waiting. But let us just take let me take a water break, if you don't mind, like a drink, and get back to you in a few seconds. Yes, and okay, so maybe there wasn't a water break, but I wipe my face break. But it was so short that you caught me doing it, so that's okay. I still have a hot room. You know what I mean? All right. So it's Friday night, and I'm very happy to be able to do this. It's noble. It gives me joy to make a difference. And if this is how I can make a difference, then let's go with it. I don't mind. I'm not there for zooming on C's. It's all about zooming on positivity and wellness. As you can see, my t-shirt, for the first time I'm wearing my t-shirt. Can I show it off? Not so bright or high tech, but hey, good. That's a start. Influences. All right, positivity and wellness. Yeah, if you want one like this, just go on my Teespring page, and you can order a t-shirt like this, influences. Or if you can't afford a t-shirt, you can get a mug. If you can't afford a mug, you can get a sticker with influences, just to support me. Just support me, dude, and that would be wonderful. All right, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. All right, so let's go to our second guest. Yeah, our second guest. She's not second guessing, I can tell you, because this lady is exceptional. And I'm going to bring her in right now. And this is our Dr. Trifee. And we call her, some of you know her as Trifina, Margaret, Dr. Trifee, whatever you call her. Some even Miss, because I know she taught some of you at school. And you probably, hey, look at my teacher, look at my Miss. Some of you know her as friends, like I'm sure one of her best buddies is watching right now. That'd be Joy Slade. She must be somewhere. We call her Joy. Yes, she must be somewhere. But I want to give you a quick, and I'll try to make this really quick story about this lady as she relates to me or how I relate to her. I was a little girl going to Catholic church, as usual. That's my church still. Going to church, following people like Felix Francis Peter and all the other folks who used to be out there with her. And they used to play music and sing and have retreats with us. And me, being a little girl, I used to just admire this lady because she could sing. Hey, you didn't know she can sing. Yeah, she's a singer. She can sing. Seriously, guys, she can really sing. She has a lovely voice. And so once I heard her sing, not once, but I guess all the time I used to go to church and hear her singing, I remember saying, well, Lord, I'd like to sing like that. I'd like to have a voice that I can actually reach people like that. I never forget praying that little prayer to God. But I don't think God would take me so seriously, like he would actually give me a voice to sing. But she was my first inspiration. Mr. Peter gave me the microphone first, got me to sing in public, but Trifina, Dr. Trifee, she wasn't doctor yet. She wasn't, I don't know if she was teacher already, but I just knew her as a little girl. And she was my inspiration to sing. So I always appreciate you, and I want to thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me tonight, Dr. Trifee. How are you doing?
I am well. I am well. I am well.
Yes, you are well. You look a little tired.
It's been a rough couple of days, I'll say that.
I can see. I know your energy level, and tonight is not. I'm not seeing. I can see. Yeah, you are there because you're committed, but I know you could be tired, and I respect that completely. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's for sure.
yes. So I was really inspired yesterday when I saw a post from you on Facebook, and you shared something so deep and so intimate to you. I don't know if I should go into your history, who you are. Yeah, well, maybe you can do that because some folks maybe don't know. I take it for granted that people know. So, in a nutshell, maybe you can tell us whose child are you? Where you from? Yes, where you come out now. Tell us a little bit about where you come out, and then maybe we can touch a little bit about that post that I saw because that really triggered what we're about to talk about tonight. So it's all yours, though.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share and talk. I always count as a blessing
Yes.
to be able to add some words into the universe that I think might help or heal. I think my mission on the planet is to heal and to teach. And so I'm always grateful for an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So
all these comments coming in are crazy. Go ahead.
I come out cottage.
Yes.
Our home one. My mom is Josephine. She was born Joseph, but she was married to Whoop. The
Yes.
people from cottage know Whoop as chef manager Kapowal Whoop. That's my dad.
Right.
Dad, he raised me. I am actually born Wallace, so my paternal family is from Henry Wallace in Clifton, Cookville.
Yes.
So yeah, I went to PSS. I went to sixth form college. I taught at St. John's. I taught Heather, at St. John.
She just said that actually. She just said that.
Mhm.
Said she knows you as Miss. Yes.
Yep, I'm her miss.
Yes.
Um, and you're right. I recorded an album right before I left to come up to school. I
Yes.
was 2021. A lot of things were going on around that time. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about that, with Felix and Strathmore and Kelvin
Yeah.
and Dwayne,
Uh-huh.
Jen,
Sauce.
uh, and Sauce, Yeah,
Mr. Mallory.
that's right. That's right, Mr. Marie Mark.
Yeah.
And again, just trying to use my voice. I wasn't always comfortable doing it then. I was so shy.
Yeah. Hmm.
They had to push me to do it. But I'm happy for the opportunity. So that's my routine. That's my routine.
Yeah. And it was a bit, I know it was challenging, but it was also a solid foundation for you because you are one of the people who, even if you may get to the next end of the earth, that is going to be home to you, and you never forget that roots.
Yes, yes,
These roots, so
yeah.
solid foundation there.
Yeah, yeah. I am convinced that if a tree has good roots, regardless of the storms that come, right? Or sometimes even when you have, say, an infestation in the leaves,
Yeah.
in the fruit, if the
Mm-hmm.
root is good, you can prune those branches now, and that plant is still going to keep blooming and blossoming for you, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm grateful for the foundation that I got from
Yes.
the family, from the community, you know, cottage people talking about the post, my people, they
Yeah.
just we celebrate together and we suffer together.
Yeah.
So we move through life together. And
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that about my rooting in cottage because
Yeah.
of, you know.
I like that quote that you celebrate together, you suffer together.
Hmm.
And I think that's how community was for us when we were growing up. For a lot of us, that
Hmm.
we knew that if one person in the neighborhood had a crisis, it's like everybody had that crisis. And
Hmm.
and then once everybody was celebrating some achievement of somebody's child, that everybody was excited. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm hoping that we can probably find a little bit of that. I think there is some of it still existing, but I still think that we've lost a lot of it over
Mm,
the years because people have become a bit more individualistic, more
mm,
selfish, less
mhm,
conscientious of community, and
mhm,
that sort of thing. So yeah. So anyway, yesterday was a tough day for you.
mhm,
Yeah, and so I read your post on Facebook, and it's a pity I didn't save it to sort of show it to the folks, but I'm sure if they were to go on your page, they will see it. But in reference, you spoke about that ordeal from
mhm,
29 years ago that
mhm,
that you had to face as a daughter
mhm,
uh, of a loving mother, a
mhm,
mother who was everything to you, pretty much.
mhm.
You in the most tragic of ways when it's more difficult to get closure for not having to see that person and say,
Absolutely.
oh, yeah, that is true. Okay, that person is no longer because I can see, and that was tough for you. Do you mind sharing anything about that with us?
Absolutely. So, 29 years ago, yesterday,
Yeah,
my mom, along with a lot of other hucksters, were traveling from Dominica their intent was to get to St. Martin because they stole food. Dominica is the breadbasket of the
yeah,
Caribbean, we sell food. And the day before the accident, which we'll get to, she came by as she always did. I taught at St. John's. She'd come over the wall and give me a little hug and a little kiss and say bye, and we did that. And the trip before, I'd actually gone up to St. Martin with her on that same boat because I wanted to experience what her life was like when she was on the boat.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And so, it's just a typical, your mom goes off, she comes back in a week or so. That morning of the 10th, I woke up about 4 o'clock and just went and stood in front of the mirror feeling just kind of weird, like I couldn't understand it. And I remember praying and asking God, oh yeah, my mom's okay. I know she's okay because you and I, God, we've got a deal that my mom has got to see at least
Yeah.
my first child, you
Wow.
know? Yeah. So yeah, and I went back to sleep. Well, I, I'm at school. It's almost midday, and talking about Felix, Francis, Peter,
Yeah.
in my class, I'm in grade 7 teaching, and he knocks on the door, and he says, "Hey, come." I'm like, "Okay." And when I come out, he says, "Did your mom travel?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Have you heard from her yet?" I said, "No." He said, "Well," and you kind of brace yourself because this is so not typical. He
Yeah.
says, "Well, the boat she was traveling on, the Penelope, the word is that it sank, and they haven't been able to locate her. The police are looking." So, of course, when that happens, the wind, it's like you can hear a pin drop inside of yourself. It's like you
Yeah.
stop breathing, the world kind of freezes, stands still, and you go somewhere almost not to feel, almost as if you don't want to feel the reality of the words that you just heard, because it cannot be true. Because if it's
Yeah.
true, that means your mother's never coming back, potentially.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that started just a really traumatic, kind of emotional torment that started that moment. And really, I don't think I felt any peace inside of myself for a good 16 or so years after that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so you talked about closure.
Yeah.
For her, for a couple of people, for a few people, there was closure because they were able to
Okay.
find some of the bodies, but
Yes.
body was not found. My Daisy is another lady who was on there. And I met some people on Facebook who told me that their sister, their auntie, relatives, I think Sandra, Breedy might have
Yeah.
been there
Yeah.
too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of comparing notes with the way we felt with that
Yeah.
is just so raw and so similar. And reasons why days like yesterday still feel so incredulous. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
because perhaps there was no closure. So the body was never recovered. Not a sign, not a shirt, not a shoe, not a hairpin, nothing. So it's like the person just vanishes
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
thin air,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got to find a way as a human being, as a 21-year-old, to understand it, to cope with it, to accept it, without much help. Because in Dominica, we don't do much therapy.
Yeah.
Nobody even thinks, you might need some therapy after something like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
for us, we have the idea that we're strong, we're tough, we can check it out. Depressed, to show you're depressed is a weakness.
Yeah.
In the beginning of a trauma, the community does walk with you.
Very much.
Yeah, but I left Dominica that following summer. And so I had to go figure this out on my own. So I did not have the community behind me.
Right.
I think that would have made a difference,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to keep working through it alone. And
Yeah.
that was very hard.
Yes. So, well, sometimes these things leave us almost speechless because it's amazing to hear you say that 16 years. I mean, 16
Mhm.
years. You could not quite grasp, maybe just
Mhm.
at least moving a step away from the
Mhm.
trauma that
Yeah.
you have to deal with. You know, interestingly, on that very day, my nephew was born. One of my nephews.
Mm. I saw your mom say that. Your mom wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. The very day, that was something else, and he was like a miracle child for my sister. So
Mm.
it's so weird how life is that, even in the difficulties of one person on the same day, another set could be having a wonderful time. And it's
That's
so easy for us not to recognize that, trauma can actually come and last that long in
Yeah.
somebody's life, you know. So you were not even a doctor yet. You were not a psychologist as yet. You were not a counselor as yet. You were, I think, are you a hypnotherapist? Now, can I say that?
Hypnotherapist now, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so one must be curious. I mean, what triggered you to go into that field, knowing what you've been through and
Hmm.
how difficult it was for you to even get, I don't want to say passive, because I think every year you probably still mourn the loss of your mom and still hurt over the loss, but maybe you have grown techniques and strategies to cope better. So, I mean, what led you to that, to this field, to become a doctor,
Yeah.
a licensed psychologist, licensed counselor, hypnotherapist, and so on?
So when it comes to cooking, in the beginning, all I had was my faith in
Yeah,
God, right? We just talked about me and gospel messengers.
yeah,
That was our band's name. We
yeah,
had released this album. We were in the middle of practicing actually when the accident happened.
yeah,
So I wasn't even sure if I could sing.
yeah,
Mm. But the guys really pushed me like before to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Again, talk about community.
yeah,
My faith in God, that I knew for sure. But when you have a break like that in your life, you start not trusting God.
yeah.
Because
Hmm.
remember that morning, I thought he and I were like this.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
we make our deals with God. Like
yeah,
I said, I told him, my mom, I'm sure you're going to keep my mom alive so that she can see at least my first child. Of course,
yeah,
that didn't happen. And of course, I couldn't wrap my head around, well, if you're going to take her, why are you taking her like that, man?
yeah, yeah,
To where I don't have a grave to go to. I
yeah,
can't sit on her graveside. I can't go talk to her. You see people talking to the person who's passed on in the movies or whatever. I have nothing like that.
hmm,
So I just have this thing that I have to my mind has to make sense out of. So when I left Dominica, I actually left St. John's School to go study psychology because at the time that's what my heart was calling me to because
yeah,
my kids would come to me with stuff going on, and I'd be like, okay, you can try this, you can try that, but I didn't have any real techniques to teach them. I didn't know how to dig deeper to help them resolve stuff.
yeah,
It was on my heart to do. So I did that track because it was on my heart to do, but I kept doing more and more because in the doing of it for other people,
yeah.
healing myself.
Right. Mm.
Yeah, I was healing myself. So the
Mm.
16-year thing, that was after I had done some hypnotherapy training where I was able to go in and do some digging, deep
Yeah.
reframing, releasing, big emotional release, resetting, putting things in order in my mind. So from then on, I kind of found a path, a
Yeah.
way um, outside of my faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said a lot of digging and cleansing. It's almost cathartic, as that's the word, where
Yes.
you're able to just find maybe the deeper reasoning behind all the trauma, all the pain, all the things that was making it difficult for you to let go. And so
Yeah.
you got to that point where you became a doctor.
Yeah.
And, and in your post, you mentioned that
Hmm.
depression is real. I saw somebody else posted that tonight. I saw somebody posted depression is real, but I think your wording was kind of different, and I kind of want
Hmm.
to find the exact way that you said it. But
Hmm.
it's something to the effect that depression is not a joke. Like it is real, and people actually go through this thing. You
But
know,
depression is life threatening.
it's life
It's
threatening.
life threatening because we can commit we so the way I experienced it in my body was
Yeah,
there was just the feelings were so strong, right? You got rage, you have sadness, you have anxiety, fear, worry, overwhelm, and more rage. I mean, I went through periods in my head where I thought about, I just want to break something. I just want to break glass
Yeah.
and see stuff break. I was so mad at God
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
mad at people who had their parents still,
Yeah.
and mad that I didn't have a grade site to go to,
Mm-hmm.
just furious.
Yeah.
Um, and so that all of that is energy. Emotions are energy. So can you
Yeah.
imagine you have this like a big dynamo inside of your body?
Right.
It just feels like you're about to explode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it in your body. And I'm telling you, there were days when I didn't want to be in my body.
Yeah.
Mhm. Lord, if you okay with it, just let me not get up.
Yeah.
You understand?
You actually prayed that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
if you're okay with it, Lord, just let me not get up. I won't be
Mm-hmm.
mad at you if I don't get up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'll go drop my kids to school, and I had figured out how to work for myself by then. That's the one thing. I can work, I can
Yeah.
study. Those things I can do very well without much stress. So I was able to start a business, and that gives me the freedom to be able to take my kids to school when I want, to pick them up when I want to. But I would pick them up, so I'd drop them off to school, come home,
Mm-hmm.
laid out on the couch, laid out until it was time to go pick them up.
Wow. How long you did this for? Like how long did you have to go through that?
So the thing is, it's on and off. So it's like it's cycled for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Cycle. It just
Right.
cycles. There'll be times when you get a little relief and you're like, okay, okay, okay. Like this way in Dominica, you can take a little soup. You can
Yeah.
catch it there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then, back,
Mm.
and not not even thinking I was depressed. Look, I did not think I was depressed.
Right.
I thought I was okay. I thought I
Mhm.
just, man, this life just isn't.
Did you have to push, did you have to push yourself to go to therapy or did you have someone pushing you all the time?
Listen, I did not. The way I went to therapy was not even
Directly?
because I said, "Let me go to a therapist to
Yeah.
start."
Yeah.
Because who needs therapy? Dominica must not see. Dominica doesn't have depression. Depression start.
And so you wrote that because a lot of people in Dominica doesn't think, oh, we don't get depressed or fine. We don't need no counsel. Oh, counsel is for crazy people.
Crazy people. And
Yeah.
even while I am studying the psychology,
Yeah.
to help other people, I'm saying, nah, man, that's not for me. I'm
Right.
good. I'm having a hard couple of weeks. Okay. But the way I accessed my recovery, my healing was again through education. So I wanted to learn how to become a clinical hypnotherapist.
Right. Okay.
That process involved me being a client
Mm.
with other trainees who were also licensed people and all that. So they used the process on me,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
had to do it. If it wasn't for that, I might still be walking around thinking, oh, I'm just having a hard week.
Mm. So you're telling us that a person who is going through depression can actually go through this for their entire life if
The
they
rest
do.
of my life,
If,
if you don't
yeah.
address it.
First, if they do not recognize that they do have a difficulty, that they are depressed, and that they need help.
Yes.
Wow,
Because
this is
after you realize you're suffering, number one, you have to even admit you're suffering,
yeah.
and that it's an emotional issue
Hmm.
versus, oh, it's just my mood, or I'm alert. Like, as hard as I work, I would
Yeah.
actually get down on myself on those days and say, man, I could be doing so much on this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Not understanding that low energy, lack of motivation,
Mm.
is actually two big classic symptoms of depression. So
Low energy and lack of motivation.
lack of motivation and decreased energy.
Yeah.
There's some people have experienced decreased energy to the point the big fancy word for it is anhedonia, where they just leg it like just if I yeah if I do this I do this, if I do it I don't, what
Yeah.
I'm saying. And if it goes too long
Hmm.
untreated, some
Hmm.
people actually can become psychotic, where you hear voices, you see things.
Yeah.
or you become paranoid, you start trusting people, the anxiety is so much, you're afraid to do things. So this ends up stopping you in your life.
Yeah.
Again, I think I was blessed with I had enough energy and school and work came easy for me. So I could do what I needed to do and
Yes.
still fell there, but just emotionally, it was just daily suffering.
Wow. I mean, this is amazing. I know that I have experienced a level of depression before, not at the magnitude at which you're describing there, but I do know of times in my life where I felt a bit depressed. Didn't want to go to get up to go to work, just didn't have the energy,
Yeah,
and had to even take rest, like just rest away from the norm, the work, the this, the
yeah.
that, because I just. And one time a doctor said to me, you don't curse people. That's what she said. One of my doctor actually said to me, but you don't curse people. As if, well, I need to probably just, say a little more bad things to,
Really?
yeah, release. That's it. Some kind of anger so that I feel better or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I remember my doctor saying that to me, and that was quite a few years ago. But it means that every and anybody can get depressed at some point in their life. Some simple thing can trigger a loss, a hurt, a broken relationship, a broken friendship. Something can
yes,
lead to some kind of depression.
yes,
So you did mention two of the main signs for people to know that maybe that's a sign of depression, or that they might be depressed, which is one, as you said, a lack of motivation, self motivation, and also a loss of energy, or low energy. Is there anything else that we should look out for that
yeah,
might show that somebody is depressed?
yeah. So if you used to enjoy your life, if you used to look forward to things in life and know you don't really care so much, I can take it or leave it, you
Yeah,
might be depressed because we lose our pleasure and our sense of joy in
yeah,
things we used to find pleasurable and joyful and enjoyable.
yeah,
Also, some people have crying episodes, they're not even sure why they're crying,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um, Irritability is a big sign too, like you're quick to snap.
Yes, yes.
The blood is close to your skin, you're quick to snap. High anxiety
Mm-hmm.
is
Hmm.
a big sign, it's often connected to depression.
Yeah,
These negative thoughts, just dark thoughts. Oh, this will never work out. That will never work out. People don't like me. Often connected to depression.
mm. All
Yeah.
right.
Because what happens is the brain goes on this negative thought
Mm.
spiral
Yeah.
and you just get locked into that kind of dark, pessimistic way of thinking.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
very sensitive, breaks
Very,
very easily.
yes, yes.
Okay.
There are levels of depression. Okay.
Mhm.
So, like you were saying, sometimes something might happen in your life. That's a typical thing. Like,
Yeah.
somebody goes through a breakup, or you might lose a job, you change your job, you move somewhere else, somebody, you lost a friend, somebody passed away. Bereavement does not always lead to that kind of depression that
Yes.
I
Yes.
experienced.
That's true. Yes.
You know.
It
But
depends
people
on
feel
several
it.
elements. Yeah.
Hmm?
I was saying, I'm sure, as it relates to bereavement, I suppose it depends on several dynamics. Somebody might be happy, somebody dies based on
Exactly.
the relationship that was existing prior. So it depends on what is
Exactly.
existing there before. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, if you're able to have common rituals
Yeah.
associated with death and dying, it's an easier transition for not just the person who dies, but for the family and the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
So typically when people die, everybody comes at your home, they cook, they help you. You have your funeral and the body goes down on the ground or it gets cremated, right? So
Yeah.
you have your 9 nights of prayer for some of those. Or back in the day, which actually used to be a helpful thing culturally, they would wear
Yes.
day clothes with different colors, which
Oh, yeah.
signifies what
Mm-hmm.
level of grief a person was at.
Mm.
So you would wear black,
Yes.
very subdued colors, black depending on the year, or white or purple, I think brown, as you would start coming up out of the grieving time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But that's something again we lost in the culture.
Yes.
Yeah. So think about it, if you've lost somebody so like this, if everybody in the community knows that by the color of the clothes you're wearing, hey, handle with care, this person is tender.
Yes. Yes.
They might need an extra
But
hug.
boy, I don't know. I don't think we have any of that. I know. I mean, there's still people very traditional. If someone dies, they wear their black, and then after that, I think we just know. Well, nobody pays really deep attention, and that's a tradition that you're talking about there. That I didn't even know that it was being interpreted in that way back then. So that is so deep to know. Yeah. Someone is
Yeah.
asking if mood swings is one of those indicators as well.
Absolutely. So what some people call mood swings is really irritability, right?
Yeah.
Irritability, you go from I'm okay now to hey, I'm crying in 2 seconds, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes mood swings are associated with other things too, but they can be associated with depression for
Yeah.
sure. Because there you are, you're trying to keep it together 1 minute, right? You plaster the smile on your face,
Yep.
you walk out the door, you good, but within
Mm-hmm.
an hour you like feels like you're grating your fingernail on chalkboard, it's just
Oh my
you
God.
need a break.
Should I- This one is graphic to me because I'm so afraid of chalk more than chalk. There's something about it that shivers me. So when you said that,
Yeah.
but yes, it is as serious as that. I mean, people are walking around like this, and we may not even know. So Doc, what is out there? I mean, okay, so depression can lead to things like suicide. We know that, right? I mean, and suicide is real. I mean, people take their lives all the time.
Listen, I'm serious. Like if I think if I had grown up in a different culture without the spiritual belief set, right? Or
Yeah.
cultural belief set, um, or if I didn't have the faith I had by the time I left. So
Yes.
really, I remember Father Auguste and Father Celsus came. He really, the way he taught and ministered and preached,
Yes.
pulled a lot of young people into a really close and real relationship,
Yeah.
I feel, with Christ, right? With Christ, like
Yes.
understand who Christ is. So I
Yes.
had that at 19. So I had that
Hmm.
experience at 19.
Right.
My mother died 2 years later. If I didn't have that at 19, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because even with that, remember that was broken because my
Yes.
faith in God was
Yes.
tested. And
Yes.
that Job, I suppose, I'm like, are you serious? And I wasn't sure I could trust him for a long time.
So how are you all now?
Oh, we like, it's won't go, man. We think.
Love it.
Yeah,
Full circle. Full circle.
full circle, right?
Yes.
Right, full circle
Praise God.
to Father Moody. I don't know if some of you
Oh
remember.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
He was the first one who dropped a little seed of hope because
Yes.
at that time I couldn't see much hope. It was just a lot of despair, like it's darkness. You're not sure how you're going to make it through the next day. Like, will
Yes.
I be able to survive sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I wake up, she's not going to be there. So sleep is a little bit of a rest,
Mm-hmm.
right? I might see her in my dream tonight,
Yeah.
which will give me a little of soulagement, a little bit of ease up. But then I
Yes.
have to wake up in the morning
Yeah.
to my reality.
Hmm.
And Father Moody said something to me, and he said, um, "It's okay that you're angry with God."
Yes.
Father Moody, what do you mean? Because I'm angry, but I still feel guilty that I'm
Yes.
angry with God for this
Yes.
horrible thing. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, "Well, clearly you must have a good relationship with God because you trust Him enough to be angry with Him."
Yeah. Wow.
Father Moody, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to take that. I don't know
Yeah.
what it means, Father Moody, but okay, the way you say it, you sound as if you really believe it. And that was the first seed, I think, of just like, okay. And
Wow.
I began to pray for acceptance instead of understanding. Because I
Mm.
pray, please help me understand. I put
Yeah.
the prayers begging to understand, but I wasn't getting anywhere with that. I was maybe 29, 30 by the time it hit me.
Yeah.
I can't understand it. How are you going to understand it?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to accept it.
Accept it. Yeah.
It
Accept.
happened. It's
Mm-hmm.
your reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she's not there. She's not coming back in physical form. So what are you going to do to keep her
Mm-hmm.
close to you?
Yeah.
That's not in physical form.
Right.
So I had to shift into, okay, let me remember how my head felt on her lap on that boat the week before on that
Yes.
trip down Penelope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How her skin smelled, or how she'd like to put her little mole and her lipstick and wear little purse and those
Mm-hmm.
things. I had to shift the energy.
Yes.
So instead of physical energy, I had to understand how to hold a thought or
Mm-hmm.
or a scent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to find the peace because it felt like I needed, like you needed Vaseline on your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wow. So you gave quite a bit of tips there as to how one can actually try to cope with feeling in despair, feeling a sense of depression, feeling like giving up. You spoke about the fact that we should look more at acceptance rather than understanding.
Yeah.
Somebody's out there, you're going through a situation right now. You may not be able to understand your situation, but just try to accept that that is what it is,
Yeah.
and that will help you to start to transition.
Yeah.
Father Moody, you referenced him, he was very deep. I
Mhm.
knew I spent some time with him myself.
Mhm.
Um, Such a scholar, such depth in this man, this
I
priest.
need to break it down to where just out of my teenage years could understand, He would
Yes,
break these deep philosophical,
yeah,
theological concepts in a
mm,
way that you could get it. You could,
yes.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is good to also learn that you were able to be honest with God, and say, look, I'm mad at you. I'm very upset at you, and that you were able to come full circle and reconnect with God.
Yeah.
Suicide is something that a lot of people don't necessarily want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard comments or statements like when someone commits suicide, they're selfish because they don't think of the other person or the other people that they are leaving behind. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Okay, so I mean, how do you as a psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
as a counselor, a specialist to deal with trauma recovery? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how do you talk to people? If someone comes to you, they said they're suicidal, or they know somebody who is suicidal, what do you say to them?
Mm-hmm. So let me first touch on the piece where you said that often
Yeah.
people who are suicidal or who commit suicide are selfish. Uh,
Yes.
I would say that's a person who doesn't understand emotional pain. Somebody who responded told me that her nephew, his mom was on the boat and he committed suicide after his mother died. And I understood it because he
The
couldn't
same
take
boat?
the feelings
Are
on
you
that
saying the
boat.
same? The
Yeah,
same boat?
yeah, a child of one of the people,
Uh huh.
yeah, he committed suicide. And I got it because it's
Oh,
just it just feels like it's too much.
yeah.
So, and I told you about the piece of negative thinking and pessimistic thinking that comes up to what
Yes.
happens if the brain gets locked into a really negative loop of thinking, where
Mm-hmm.
a person actually starts to believe they might be better off, the family's better off without me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't even get up. I'm not working much right now. I can't even get up.
Yeah.
Who am I, right? And I don't know that this thing is ever going to end. If I'm going to feel like this for the rest of my life, you mean to tell me if I'm 20 years old and there's no hope for me, feeling like I feel until I am 85, imagine how many people are like, let me just go to sleep. Now, here's the thing, there are passive active suicide. It's passive suicidal ideation, like what I was doing, which was, Lord, I won't argue with you to take me tonight. It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or some people will say, if this truck hits me, I'm good. So some people will walk kind of slowly in traffic.
Yeah.
or they'll kind of play with the idea of jumping in front of a train,
Hmm.
or they'll have these really, they're called morbid thoughts of, man, my car is going to get T-boned, you know, just this, it's just a pessimistic mind. The brain gets really to where it's almost feeding on itself, like cannibalizing
Hmm.
itself. So if you hear that from a person describing their internal experience, number one, can you really think they're so crazy if they're like, I want this feeling to stop? I want
Hmm.
this to stop at all costs. So that's the first. I learned early in my training that first off, as a Christian person, the Bible says everybody's got to work out their own salvation.
Hmm. Fear and trembling.
It's yeah, it's not my responsibility to judge a person's intent or their right to or their duty to. No, I mean I'm not a judge, I'm a therapist. So a therapist holds space for a person wherever they are.
Yeah.
So I don't spend when a person comes in with suicidal thinking, I'm really there trying to hold them emotionally
Yeah.
so they don't feel as alone in that experience of suffering, number one. And I normalize it. Like, hey, I can understand. I get it. I get it. You know, sometimes we go through periods like this. Hmm? Of course, before I offer them solutions, like, but if it's feeling this bad, really, you need to start with your brain.
Hmm.
You have to readjust the brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Therefore, you need medication support, number one, because I don't care how many skills I try to teach you in that level of depression. Number one, you might not have the energy to follow through or the motivation.
Yeah.
So I have to bring the medicine is to bring your chemistry up enough to
Yeah.
where at least you're at baseline and you can take in, absorb the skills that I might teach you, right?
So do you
No,
find do
go
you
ahead.
find medicine actually works for some of these people?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And that's one of the things I wrote in the post. I wish I had um, access medication. I never did, but I wish I had because it would have stopped my suffering a
Okay.
long time ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
A long time ago.
Wow.
Um, of
Mm.
course, there are processes like hypnotherapy, which for me helps me bring a person back to the source
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
and really to when you replay it, you reset it, you come to new decisions about yourself, about life, about God, whatever it is, right? About the event. And in that state, when we make decisions, it's easier for us to keep it because it's just such a meditative focus
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
Easier than just telling myself, man, let me get up, you know? So that's a really powerful tool I've found over the years to help people go
Hmm.
back and reset their trauma. Find a different way for the brain to think about it, for the mind to think about it.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I know this subject is very broad and very deep. We could never exhaust all of the areas. I mean, mental illness in itself, you know,
mm,
it's something that I think our society still needs to understand a bit better.
mm,
It's horrible. I lost
mhm,
a sister just a few years ago. One of my sisters through mental illness.
mhm,
Um, I'm sure she was depressed at some point too, and she had her own trauma that she had to deal with, and so I think mental illness is something we need to better understand and
absolutely.
and help people to go through, in a more productive way than in a destructive manner.
Absolutely. I think culturally, and talking about Dominica, um, really we are we're people who strive for excellence. So we like good stuff. Even
Yeah.
if we don't have money, we want the best stuff.
Hmm.
We're strong, we're tough, resilient people. And sometimes, though, that can make us a little too quick to leave the one with the little fele one.
Yes.
We can leave the fele one behind. Or we can be too tough on the fele one. See,
Yeah.
the strong one might be able to take that kind of hard talk. But
Mm-hmm.
the little sensitive one, you might have to talk to that one in a different way, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think we are, I think we can do a better job there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With that.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you. We need to do a better job, but I think it takes some education, some understanding of what it entails. And often, unless it probably hits home, like somebody dear to us that
Yeah.
went through it and we realize, boy, this is not a joke, this is real.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to be insensitive and judgmental. Oh, this and that you want, or this and that you want. Why
I
is
know attention they want. Why they doing that? Noticing they
right,
want. You
right,
know? Why you doing that?
right. So, and of course, some people abuse them in the process as well, the mentally ill people. So we really need to be a more caring society, um, to help all people to navigate through. And mental illness is not always the person who manifests their crazy, quote unquote, crazy or madness. As you mentioned earlier about depression, depression is a mental illness, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Right,
Absolutely.
right. So,
If you live long enough, I promise you, you're going to experience a depressive episode because something is going to happen to you
right,
that you're going to feel this terrible.
right.
And you might never consider suicide, but you'll feel a level of hurt and pain if you live long enough, you know?
So
So,
how do we guard ourselves, Doc, against those elements? I don't know if I should call them elements, but how does one guard his or herself from going so deep down, so low then to the bottom, rock bottom? Yeah.
that's powerful. So no, I understand the value of planning. You
Uh,
know, look, every hurricane season, you ought to have a plan.
yeah.
What I understand for sure is that if you live long enough, you will experience some bull caca. All right, it'll
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
It, that truck stops at everybody's doorstep at one point or another. So what do you do? Actually, in
Mm,
my group, Trauma Transformers tribe, this week, I went through something that I call mental push-ups. You know, you do physical push-ups to train your body.
yeah.
You do mental push-ups to train your mind.
All
Okay?
right. All right.
Breath. You have to learn how to breathe through stress.
Okay.
And breathing, I mean long, slow, deep breath into your belly.
Yeah.
Because that helps you manipulate the energy of the emotion. Because some emotions just so much. Sometimes you could breathe better, right? The body still works in a different way.
Yeah.
Also, if you slow down your breathing, your heart rate slows down too,
So, yeah.
and the brain slows down because the brain takes its cues from your heart rate variability. So if I slow down my heart rate on purpose, I'm hacking my brain.
Ah.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why the monks can perform such feats because they've learned how to slow their
Yes.
breathing down through meditation. So
Yeah.
meditation is another skill, right?
Mm,
It's a mental push-up that you practice. And lots of people say, I can't meditate. Look, just go sit by the river and listen to the sound of the river. Man, 5 minutes. Train
mhm.
your senses to focus. That's meditation. Train your eyes to focus.
Yeah.
Look at the flower. Look at it. Investigate it. Yeah? Feel the temperature. Like just focus on your feelings,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So meditation, the breath, gratitude practice
Yeah.
is being able to look in the middle of the crazy and finding the gem, the good.
Right.
So a situation like my mom, I'm so happy I went with her on that boat to trip before.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so happy she loved me so much,
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
of us, in
Mm-hmm.
such a way
Yeah.
that even her grandkids who never met her feel like they know her from the way we talk about her.
Got you.
You know, so I understand what love feels because of the
Mm,
way she healthy, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a painful thing that she's not there. I'm so grateful that I have her sisters. Like I can look at my auntie Veronique,
Yeah.
see this picture,
Right.
and feel my mom because they look like she looks like a picture of my mom to
Right.
me. And then also, if those things, like sometimes your brain is just on fire,
Mm-hmm.
and the thoughts are coming at you like weapons, like
Yes.
it won't stop. Put headphones in your ear and listen to somebody else. Listen to music that brings your energy up, or
Yeah.
listen to a meditation that soothes your brain,
Mm-hmm.
and raises your vibration. Because if you can raise your energetic vibration,
Right.
the negative feeling in your body does something different, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yeah,
All right. Someone here says we need to get rid of the stigma about mental illness. I mean,
absolutely.
mental illness is like any other illness, like heart or lung disease.
It's a physical thing. It's
Yeah.
brain health. And
Yeah.
I think they give it a bad name when they said mental.
Yeah. True. True.
It's brain health.
Yes.
If
Brain
your
health.
yeah, if the neurotransmitters in your brain
Mm-hmm.
are firing off in a way that they don't need to be, or they're
Mm-hmm.
overdoing it or underdoing it, you'll have an emotional response,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
it's a brain issue, and we have to understand it. We
Mm-hmm.
just have to understand it.
Yes. Wow.
Mm.
I am amazed at the term hack your brain. When we use the term, you have the computer, you have the this, you have
Yeah,
the well,
yeah.
no, we're learning tonight that we can hack our brains by
Mhm.
calming our spirits, calming our hearts, slowing down the heart rate so that the mind gets the message to slow down,
That's right.
take time to breathe, take time to meditate on the nice things, the things that would give us sort of good feeling. And
Mhm.
personally, I can talk a little bit about the fact that meditation has really worked for me. I'm not so deeply because I still think I struggle to meditate. I mean, I know
Mhm.
some people who are really good at it.
Mhm.
But I remember a point where it was what I decided to resort to calm my mind every day before I went to school, and
Mhm.
it helped a lot. And I always say, and I refer to the fact that my second book that I wrote was really birthed from the mornings that I took meditating before I went to class for a period of time there while I was at school in Texas. So, I mean, I think there is value in what you're saying, in calming the person, your spirit, calming your nerves, and calming the mind at the same time, you know. So,
Absolutely.
wow, a lot. You really have given us a lot to think about. I saw when you mentioned about the mental push-ups this week on one of your posts. So
Mhm.
there is a lot that I know you could share with us. But I want to um, first of all thank God that you have, and I will always go back to it, that you've come full circle
Mhm.
in appreciating you, in appreciating your mom and loving her even deeper probably throughout that
Mhm.
time,
Mhm.
connecting back with God for who He is to you, the foundation that He had given you before, and strengthening that even now, no
Mhm.
more, and now how you have been able to transform all of those hurts and all of these trials and
Mhm.
tribulations, you could say, and trauma into becoming a helper. I call
Mhm.
it helper, not in the sense of, oh, you're
And
a helper, but you
mhm.
are making a difference in so many people's lives. You
Mhm.
are an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
You own your business, maybe more than one, I think, more than one from what I read.
Mhm.
Very humble, very simple person doing a magnitude of things in the lives of so many people. You transform lives pretty much. You are a speaker. You are an author. Can you tell us a little bit about your book? I want to segue into what you've been doing lately, apart from healing folks
Mhm.
from all this mental and emotional struggles and brain illness, as we just spoke about. But you also do other things that are uplifting and motivating, like being a speaker. And I saw something most recently where you are going to be featured tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? You're a featured speaker from
Yes,
3
ma'am.
p.m. The black, what do you call it? BM.
Black Speaker Network.
BSN, Black
Yes,
Speakers
and
Network.
Black Speakers Network and the
Right.
Speakers Magazine.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Is it free?
We're doing an Instagram takeover of Speakers Magazine
Right.
recently. And then the Facebook entry is free. Yes.
Okay, good, good.
Come
So
on
if
in.
so if folks go on your pages, can we be able to we'll be able to find it? Like when
You know
it's
what I'll do is like my Instagram page,
yeah,
I can put a link on my Facebook and Instagram.
awesome. I'd like to follow.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
I hope folks will because this is our own and we have to go rally with her as she is going to speak to the world. Blazing trails.
So yeah, so you asked about the book. Look,
Just do it. Is it just do it?
the book I did in 2018,
Yes.
and I did
Oh,
a work.
do it now.
Yeah, what's that? Do it now. That's
Do
right.
it now. Okay,
That's
good.
right. That's actually, I will tell you, this is a lesson I learned from the way my mom died.
Okay.
There's something on your heart to do. Don't wait.
Do
Do
it
it.
now.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right after Maria, I got the lesson again and the message again. Things change like this. But there's stuff on your heart, you feel it in your soul. I got to do this.
Yeah.
Care what Tom, Dick, or Harry says about it. Do it.
Yeah.
Because your mission on the planet is different, unique, special than everybody else's. And there are people who are waiting for you to speak up
Yeah.
because they can only hear your voice.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah, I mean, some people, how many people, have you heard some people don't even like Oprah? There are
Yeah.
lots of people don't like Oprah.
Yeah.
This is like one of the biggest and most, when Oprah speaks, many people are like, ah, right? That's
Yes.
what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's stuff in your heart to do. I need to do a business. I need to write a book. I need to, whatever. Like Heather, do it.
Do
Resolve.
it. Do it
Because when
now.
you start walking, life opens up the way for you. But life needs your energetic output.
True. True.
It's not going to deal with you if you're just going to be sitting. It's
Mm-hmm.
called inertia. Life doesn't like inertia. No, 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 no. You got to make a little movement.
You have
Yeah,
to move.
you
Yeah.
have to be married, but I'm going to be sitting in my house. The man going to come in your house, or the woman going to come in your house to find you? Come on now. No.
Do it.
I want to write a book. What, the publisher going to come find you? No. Oh, I can't find a publisher. This is 2020. Do you need Simon and Schuster to publish your book? So to take the reasons away,
Yeah.
all of the nonsense. It's nonsense, really. It's the mind doing this chatter thing. And
Yeah.
do what you feel. Take time, meditate, get quiet. What is my reason for being here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did I just come to eat and drink or whatever? Like, why am I on this piece of rock?
Yeah.
And identify your purpose for being alive and just do it.
Yes.
Now, start
Like
out.
it. I like the message. And I want to urge folks to go out and buy your book. Do it now. That includes me too. I'm owing you because I need to go buy your book. Just saying. I mean, after be. Is there an audio book for this as well?
Not yet. I've considered doing an audio version, but
I
not.
need to listen to stuff, so it works for me. But I like a hard copy book too because I like to underline and highlight, take little notes and so on. But these days I find that listening to stuff inspires me just as much as reading.
Very much. Let me show you this. Very much
Yes.
so.
Yes.
So this is the original book,
Yes.
and this is the workbook that
The
goes
journal.
with it. This,
Yes.
I teach people psychological skills, like actual practices,
Right.
activities to do, change how you're thinking, right? Change negative thoughts. Look, learn how to chill, calm yourself, because I'm telling you, stress will
Yeah.
kill you faster than,
Anything else? True. True. Yeah. So I owe you, Doc. I need to go get that book. Today I was listening to Lisa Nichols, and
Yes.
she's inspiring. And so when I was reflecting, and it came back to me that certain things that she was saying connects me to you.
Mm.
I immediately thought, do it now, from what you
Yeah.
were saying, And I
Yeah.
thought, the world is, as they say, the world is our stage, and
Mhm.
we have to play on it. And sometimes we believe that we need the permission of certain people, and certain people try to make us think that we need their permission to be
Mhm.
what God wants us to be, to use the gifts that He has given to us. And I think too often we are too afraid. Or
Yeah.
what will people say?
Yeah.
What will they think about me? What judgment will they give? And then
Yeah.
there is this mad guy that I've been listening to. I call him mad because he's not my typical speaker, but
Yeah.
he says something. He says people can say whatever they want. He does not hear and he does not see. And
No.
sometimes I realize I behave that way. Like pretty much I know that sometimes people are on a track to, kind of dissuade you from
Mm.
progression.
Yeah.
And you can do one of two things: allow them to actually break you down, or just play deaf and dumb,
Yeah.
and blind too, and do what you have to do. So I
Look.
just said, do it now. And I want to take that little advice and continue to do what I think God stirs my heart to do. And I think that is what you are doing. I've been watching your progression. I see your videos. I think if people are not following you, they are missing out. And so, guys, if you all are not a friend of Dr. Trify on Facebook and Instagram, you need to, because she has good stuff that she puts out. So you need to. So, Doc, say something about that. I don't know. I talk a lot when I talk about you. So whatever. I don't know. You motivate me, so you have to forgive me for talking that much.
Look, you said something about other people trying to dissuade us.
Yeah.
Look, I want people to understand that that's neuroscientifically, it makes sense
Yeah.
that you actually try to dissuade us. You want to know why? Because we are tribal. Like people, we evolved to work
Yeah.
in groups. And
Yeah.
so when you have groups flowing, if one person tries to make a shimekoshi, you put the rest of the group in danger. So the
Yeah.
rest of the tribe feels as if, oh my God, oh my God. So it raises their anxiety because they think, where you going? Where you going? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're listening to your divine call, yeah, which is higher than a group call.
That's
It's
right.
higher than a collective tribal call. If I have a
Mm-hmm.
divine call, the reason you're still on the planet is because clearly God, nature thinks you still have something to do here.
Yeah.
Because nature doesn't fool around with stuff it doesn't need. It just spits it out. It kills dead trees. Like
Yeah.
you don't need a tree, it just goes, right? The fact that you're here means
Yes.
only you, because neither does nature replicate. Not
Right.
even twins are 100% the same.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Therefore, the other twin got something different to do
Different
with
one.
the other
Yeah.
piece of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that about life in general,
Yeah.
and understand that you will feel anxious if somebody is doing something you want to do. Take that as motivation and inspiration and a push or a pull versus, oh, they think whatever.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
you're wasting your time.
Wasting your time. That's
You're
true.
wasting your time. And
That.
you, the person who listens to other people's ideas about what you should do, you're
Yeah.
also wasting your time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I talked about what earlier, what had a saying, Simon, you find benefits out of that guy, right? So
Yes. Yes.
if this person paying your bill,
Yeah. Just leave that alone. Sure.
leave
That.
that alone and do what you have benefit in. Do
Yeah.
what is good for you.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
have to understand, sit in meditation or pray or quiet time. Figure out what feels good in your spirit,
Yes.
resonates in your spirit. It could
Mm.
be I gotta make mats, I gotta draw, I gotta provide this all-in-one stop shop like Heather's providing for
Yes.
people to get their birth certificates and to get their
Right.
resumes done. You know how
Mm.
many needs she's meeting with this stuff? And so you have that's so innovative of
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
You have to follow your own call.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. And
And
support each other on the call. But even if you don't get the support from the people that you expect to get it from, still do the stuff. Do it now and do it at your best, because that is what you were the universe, just to be
do it
you,
afraid.
you know?
Do it if you're afraid. Do it even if you're alone.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do it even if you don't have all the amenities that you need to do it. Just do it with what you have. Start with
Because,
what you have.
because life opens up the rest of the way.
That's
Life,
right.
life does this kind of bending stuff. It's not a straight
Yes.
shot.
Yes.
So you can't see around the bend. So you have to trust, you have to have faith. You just
Mhm.
keep going, you know? Yeah.
All right. So wait, I know when we start talking, we can't really stop. But we, I remember I remember when you came in 2018, was it? Yeah.
17 after Maria, all the after
Yeah.
18.
And I heard of that session that you were going to have, and at first I was skeptical because I was not sure that I was at the place where I wanted to talk about Maria because
Yeah.
I had been blocking every single image of Maria, literally. I did not want to hear a voice note about it. I did not want to see a video. I did not want to talk to anybody about what I experienced or what
Mhm.
I didn't want to hear their experience because I had mine. And then I heard of that session with you, and for some reason, I found myself there,
Mhm.
and I was very thankful that I went
Mhm.
because you got us to talk about the experience, and I was able to listen to other people and
Mhm.
what they experienced and how it brought that and it wasn't you didn't have a lot of time because you came back to your country hurting, worried, concerned about all of us
Mhm.
because you know what home was like and you saw the images that we did not see. And you two were concerned strongly.
Mhm.
But you came back to give. And what you gave was so priceless, like so precious. You gave time, you also gave support. You gave an ear, you gave us an area, an avenue rather, to just vent, to say what we experienced. I mean, how do you go from being this shy, traumatic person to becoming this caring person? I don't know. You answered that already, but yeah, that blows me away. Just saying. What made you come home to do this for us?
Um, well, if you talk to my sisters and a couple of my nieces, they'll say because I couldn't. It was another experience of I can't stand. I can't not do anything because what I'm feeling is too big. It's too strong. I
Yeah.
mean, I bawled on the. I was on the ground, on the floor for like an hour one day, just bawling. I had to go. Ashma, my niece, called and said, "Auntie, mommy said go take a shower." So I went and took a cold shower to shock myself back into because I couldn't handle what I was seeing. It was
Yeah.
too much you know. When I finally, when what happened is I broke down when I heard my sister, um, Mrs. Austin,
Yeah.
crying after the weeks of not being able to hear their voices.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, what do you do? I'm not a painter. I can't lift stuff, but I know how to help people release trauma.
Yeah.
And I'm the tool. I'm the backing.
Yeah. You are right.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I just again, like I said, I understand because I took time to figure it out. What
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
mission is on the planet is to heal and to teach, right? So I am the instrument,
Yeah.
and I have to allow God, the universe, divine, whatever, most high, to use me as the vessel, as
Yeah.
the instrument to bring the. And some of it is not always psychological stuff because you do this work. So, there are sometimes you're working
Yeah.
and did I just say that? I need to record that for me myself to know this.
That's
Because
it.
it wasn't me that said that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I'm happy that I could get
Yeah.
it. I would
Yeah.
have really sad
Yeah.
and stuck if I couldn't come help.
Well, your presence was a big difference. I think for any Dominican who would have seen somebody, a relative, a friend, or even just an acquaintance, or
Mhm,
somebody that they knew who is Dominican, and the
mhm,
person was overseas, and they came back home, just if
yeah,
it be for 2 3 days, and we were able to see a fresh face. That
yeah,
was alone was giving hope already. So just your mere presence, I don't know if you recognize that, but that's really what it was. Yeah, your mere presence, and I guess too. I mean, I don't know. You have a broad smile. Your smile just it lights up a room. So it was able to give us hope. So I just wanted to say thanks for me and all the other people who were there. They were teachers. They will help us. People who give back to community. And you came and you said, you guys have been giving, so you need to receive. And I want to say thanks for all of us that you did that. And it gives me a heart to want to also reach out to other people and to be different and to be more helpful as well. So thank you for that. Thanks, Doc.
You also help.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to share. You want to give maybe some closing remarks, but like I said, if I have to talk to you, we could talk for the entire night. But I want you to be ready for that big day tomorrow because you have to put on your brightest smile.
Right.
I know you don't give any fake smiles. Your smile is real. So I need to put on the real smile. You know what I mean? But I want it to be one that is more energetic than the one I see tonight.
Yes, after tonight, it'll be more energetic. Yeah.
Oh, yes. You have to be top notch tomorrow. Top notch tomorrow. So I'm hoping that I can catch it. Is it 3 p.m. our time or
I should be on at 3 Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Great. All right. Okay. So we should look out for that and just cheer you on and be part of what's happening. I think you're going to be remarkable tomorrow. You will speak from your heart. That's how you speak. So I have no fear for you. Like, I just think people are going to seek after you by the time you leave that place.
Oh, I receive it, man. I receive it.
Yeah.
So I just want to, again, thank you for an opportunity to teach, right? And I ask God to use my words to fall on whatever hearts need to feel better.
Yeah.
Or brains need to feel better, or whoever needs to think better about something. Um, for myself, I'm a human being, so the bad face is because I worked like a furious person yesterday, so I would keep my brain busy at work. And at
Yes.
the end of the day, I went into my car and cried from the car to my house, just thinking about because the brain does this, it goes back and it replays events.
Yeah.
And because we're human, and so we then have to use our coping skills. Some of your coping skills is to feel what you feel and release it, right? So cry when you gotta cry, but like I say, set a bottom, set a do not cross. Like, okay, that's enough. If I hit here, I'm not going any further. So I
Right.
actually, this is a weird thing, and I'll end with this. After as low as I got with my mom, I said to myself at a certain point, you know what? I will not let myself even feel this way about my children.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So you can prepare. Life is going to come. You prepare by strengthening your mind.
Yes.
I had my faith, which brought me very far, but we cannot throw everything away.
True.
It doesn't matter how much faith you've got, your brain is a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find a way to work with the brain,
Yes.
but from your spirit, right? So learn how to breathe, to calm yourself down. Your
Mm.
breath saves you from rage, from killing somebody, right?
Wow.
Killing yourself. This breath right here. Okay?
Mm.
Move your body,
Exercise,
walk, exercise, swim, run,
yoga.
yoga,
Yes.
okay? Practice gratitude. Yes, things are some things feel really horrible and they feel unfair, but really, are they unfair? It's just life.
Yeah.
It's just life. If you're alive, stuff's gonna happen. Yeah. And if by all means all of this is not giving your brain a little ease up, listen to something inspirational from somebody's voice that you trust, somebody with words, when they speak, your heart lightens, the pain goes away a little bit. And then
Yes.
you're climbing up and up and up and up. And that hole you were in, look, you'll be able to find some air again. Like they say, you'll catch your breath again. Yeah.
Yes.
And don't want to get medication.
I need to,
Train.
yes. Yes, I think I need to go back to my 5 and my 10 minutes of just calming myself in the morning before anything. I do it differently now. For me, the scriptures, like every morning I have to, but everybody has their strategy. But even just not putting anything in the brain and just calming the spirit. I think that is, and you said something that I'm going to take with me very strongly is that the breath can actually save your life by just controlling how quickly you're breathing at
I mean,
some
what
point.
happens when you stop breathing?
Yeah,
You
that's
die,
yeah.
right? So your breath is your life. So
Yeah.
it'll save your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to learn how to use it
Yeah.
intentionally to save your life, to rescue you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. All right. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome.
All right. We will do something similar another time.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Thank
right.
you, everybody.
Yes. God
Bye.
bless you. Yes, yes. All right. So everyone, you heard two remarkable women who shared their stories with us in different ways. You heard from Heather Vidal tonight, who shared with you the various business ideas and services and products that she's offering in her business, an extension of what you might have heard a few months, a few weeks ago. And then you, of course, were able to follow through listening to Dr. Trifie, as we call her, Dr. Trifenia Margaret Wallace, who is a clinical, who is a licensed psychologist and counselor, as well as a trauma recovery specialist. She's a speaker and an author. And so I urge you, please, tomorrow afternoon rather, in our time, if you're in Dominica, 3 p.m. Eastern, to go ahead and try to follow her presentation with the uh, Black something network speakers, I think, or Black Speakers Network, BSN, yeah, I think. She's going to be one of the guests or featured speaker there from 3 p.m. And I know that she will have more things to share that you and I can learn from. So I invite you to follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook, get her book as well. As I say, do it now, get her book, and there is also a journal to go with that so that you can heal. If you know somebody, you can buy that as a gift for, do that. Encourage somebody to read something that is going to inspire them. I want to thank all of you for sticking with me tonight and just following this discussion. Those of you who made comments, I'm sorry I can't see all the comments right now, but I'll try to go back and look at them and give some feedback where possible. I thank you for joining me. I wish that you will have a very productive weekend, a weekend of fun, but also one of rest. Remember, your breath is your life, so take time to breathe and breathe slowly, sometimes to calm that spirit, to calm the mind, to hack the mind, so that you can be more at peace, more settled, even in the most difficult times of your life. My name is Cez, or my name is Cesarina Paul. Folks call me Cez. I'm signing off for tonight. But I always want to remind us that we are living in a time that's different. COVID-19 is not a joke. Let us try to use the protocols that have been given to us and let us be responsible one for the other. Go out and take care of your families. Thank you. God bless you. It was my pleasure. See you all around. And I like to end with, my little promo. I know if you're still there, probably you are. I just wanted to extend condolences to the family and friends of Mr. the late Mr. Alexis, Mr. Crawford Alexis, who passed away this week. We lost him. He was a cultural icon, a very great accordionist, taught many people. I'm hoping that I can probably feature a little bit about him sometime very soon. Mr. Crawford is a loss to us in many ways. And many people, the cultural groups in the town and in the entire Northern District, are going to miss Mr. Crawford. May his soul rest in peace, and we extend condolences to his entire family, his wife, his children, grandchildren, all his loved ones, and all the cultural groups who will miss him. All right, may his soul rest in peace. I just wanted to plug that in before I go. See you guys around. God bless. Thank you for sticking around.